What do you make of Wyndham Clark? Matt in the rough down. That became a point on social.
Do you see the video that he grounded his club at least, I think it was 8 times?
No, that's on this precise shot we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He pulled a club, grounded it 3 times.
At a different club. Yeah.
Went back, got a different club, grounded it three more times. Then it appeared he went back and got the other club and grounded it 2 more times.
Hit it on the green.
And his ball was in thick rough.
And
it was like very clear there was a depression behind the ball.
So just a lot of activity. It was so much activity going on. No, he didn't do the wood where you like that, an extra like matting with the frying pan move. And like, I don't know, you can answer this better. Like this changing, do you need to do that going from like an 8 to a 9 iron or whatever he was debating? I think that's what's in the debate. Like, does that need to be put behind the ball every time? Like, it's not like going from like, what does the wood look like behind the ball versus what is the 3 iron or whatever, the 4 iron?
It's tricky. I think like the rule needs to, part of the issue here is the rule's not written well.
Yeah.
And then part of the other issue is that the tour has no spine and will never really actually adhere to the rules of golf.
Well,
because they would hate to have controversy with players.
The camera was right there, and it was just so much activity. I don't know. Everybody on Twitter can quickly say cheater, cheater, cheater. Like there's somewhere in the gray, which I thought CBS, like honestly, credit to them. They called it out, did so in a subtle way, not so subtle if you're paying attention to these things. But Immelman said he's taking a long look at this. This is like the third club he's placed down behind the ball there. And Nabilo quickly, without missing a beat, said, so the lie might be better. I don't think they're saying it is. He cheated. He definitely just improved his but they're calling attention to something. There was a ton of activity, and he hit it on the green.
Wyndham Clark won. He's getting cooked. If you watch the round on Saturday, Saturday he was incredible. The tee to green play was amazing. Obviously, he putted his ass off on Saturday to open up the 5-shot lead that he came into the day with. And then today, it just it's hard to win golf tournaments, and he held on. It felt like it was Rory's for the taking. He just could not get. He couldn't get one of those putts to drop. It just seemed like he wasn't reading greens great today. And Wyndham Clark, what a year! Did not expect Wyndham Clark renaissance to where he's playing the best golf of his life.
Yeah, his best year after all the locker and other stuff, beating up the T-Mobile sign and things like that, kind of becoming a punching bag for 12 months or so. I don't really want to indulge the player of the year debate. I find that really tedious. I find that like total respect to my colleagues in the media who have to fill airtime and newspaper columns and things. Like I don't have time for that. I don't know. It's Wyndham or it's Scotty. That's fine. If whoever wins it, great. I don't think we'll think about it.
If Fitzy wins or Gotti wins,
there you go. Then we won't think about it again. Like if I asked you who was the 2009 PGA Tour Player, or 2003, who won the Masters in 2013, who won the majors, and sometimes even the FedEx. Like this just isn't a thing, except for this specific stretch of time each year, whatever, July and August, where we need stuff to talk about. And Wyndham Clark, certainly a candidate. That's all. I'll leave it at that.
Golf's strange because like MVP matters in every sport.
Most of them, yeah, absolutely.
And player of the year for golf should be that, but
golf's quirky. It's got its different.
Doesn't
structure.
Matter.
Yeah, it does not matter. No one thinks about it after the debate is over. It's crazy.
The farce of the rookie of the year just being like whoever finishes higher in the FedEx Cup, this contrived ranking,
pure data,
is also like ridiculous.
Yeah, no.
It's
context.
just like the players always vote with whatever FedEx Cup position it is.
Yeah. But Clark certainly has an argument after today. It was, like you said, fascinating. He looked really bad. Looked lost. Was like obviously had a 5-shot lead. Could not make anything. They're on the broadcast. They're like, God, his like tempo with his putters all out of sorts, like super quick, not making anything. Golf is so funny. It's like crazy how, I mean, 18 holes is its own journey. And then all of a sudden, even the shot in the par 3 16, Dottie's like, God, he did not catch that clean. It kind of hops over the bunker, finds a nice little patch of green back there. And all of a sudden his putter.
I think he hit that one good. It landed right where you'd want it to land.
It was a great shot. It ended up at a great spot. It couldn't have been totally fat or thin or whatever.
I think it was struck well.
It was a
I think this
220, what is it, 220 or something? It's not a short.
And it landed like effectively pin high.
It rolled, yes.
If you didn't hit that well from 220, it's not landing pin high.
It landed just on top of the bunker, rolled out to the pin high. But he makes like he hasn't hit anything, but he gets kind of a nice downhill or he can just touch. And he goes bananas, 16, 17, and 18. And it's just funny how they could switch like that. We've seen that really throughout the year, right? I mean, where guys just seem like they're totally on the back foot, but a round is such a long journey. And for the whole day, it just felt like, he wasn't challenged by anyone too closely aside from Rory, but it was there for the taking until he just got bananas there with the putter the last 3.
I love watching, final rounds and just kind of the way a tournament ebbs and flows. And I thought like a couple of my big takeaways were, when we got to like the middle of the back nine, I was thinking to myself, what a masterclass of just like tournament golf from Rory, who clearly didn't have his best stuff. And like, you're 5 back and obviously you get the dream start, the birdie bogey 2-shot swing. But then, I think like it's so natural tendency of anybody chasing to get impatient early, especially when you give back a couple the way he did early in the front nine. But then like he keeps doing what he's doing and then he chips away and then all of a sudden he birdies 8 and 9 and in the lead, he cuts the lead down to 2 or 1. I think it was 2 at the time. And then all of a sudden on the 11th green, you're like, oh my God, he's tied for the lead. I think like I was at that point, it's like, what an amazingly like patient moment and just way he went about kind of just letting that 5-shot lead dwindle without him really forcing anything. Like I think the tendency you see young players, and you see this a lot when players are chasing someone like Scotty, the way it used to be when players would chase Tiger, is you try and be perfect, you try and push as much as you can, and sometimes and you just can't get there, and you end up making doubles that take you completely out of it. I thought Rory getting into it was a feat, and obviously that came with Wyndham playing really poor golf. On the other hand, Wyndham's ability to allow himself and not get flustered in that moment of where Rory's tracking you down, and his ability to just kind of stay in it and know that something good was going to happen. And sure enough, there 16 through 18, he puts it, he steps on the gas, gets it done. And obviously really bad bogey from Rory on 17. That kind of just really misplayed that hole that kind of led to Wyndham being able to kind of waltz down 18.
Just kind of puttered and billowed down 17 at a place where I think Rory referred to it as like what character a couple times, like because the guy was like on the fritz, not playing good golf. Rory hits that tee shot at 16, like twirls it in like just a great pure iron shot to this hole we talked about is 220 or whatever, and like completely on the back foot, right? If you're judging or gambling on these things, you're like, absolutely, he's the plus or the minus favorite at this point, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's just over within like 15 minutes, and nothing we saw from the preceding 3 hours suggested it would go that way, and that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes in the 4 hour round.
Listen, I think this is something. Wyndham has so much confidence from the year. He has so much confidence from what he's been able to do this year, and I think that's a lot of like being able to not get frazzled in that moment is so much of like your ability to like recall good memories and vivid good memories in that situation. And that was really impressive. I think it's his year is, I mean, obviously been amazing, but you kind of go down it and he wins the CJ Cup. He was so close to winning the Memorial.
Yes.
Which is obviously a big time golf course.
In the Hunt in Canada, right?
Yeah, in the Hunt in Canada, bad Sunday. But then he wins Shinnecock. He finishes 5th at the Travelers right after. And then you look at last week he finished 5th at St. Jude, and then he wins this week. I mean,
did you hear why he emceed in Detroit? He said he hurt himself warming up for the first pitch, the opening pitch of the Tigers game. You're reading off all these good results in this stretch. I was like, well, first hazards of, I guess, throwing out the first pitch. He messed up his arm or his elbow.
I was on Instagram and I got served like a little